call the Monday, September 15, 2025 Oakwood City Council meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me with the pledge to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please, Lori?
Mayor Duncan?
Here.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Here.
Mr. Stevens?
Here.
Mrs. Turbin? Here. Mrs. Jackson? Here.
Thank you. And may I have a report on the minutes of our August 4, 2025 regular session, work session, and executive session, and our August 18 work session and executive session. Councilmember Jackson.
Yes, Mayor. I've read the minutes for the meetings, including the regular sessions, work sessions, and executive sessions for the dates you cited, and upon review, I found them to be complete and correct. I move that we accept the minutes as written.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So ordered. Under status reports, it's my honor to recognize Constitution Week. Whereas September 17, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. Whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations that will commemorate the occasion. Whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17 through 23 as Constitution Week. Whereas the preamble of the Constitution of the United States states, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Now, therefore, under the power vested in me, I, William D. Duncan, Mayor of the City of Oakwood, hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through September 23 as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting our freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties." And I was honored to meet with 4 members of the local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution on Friday and presented them with a signed copy of this proclamation. So thank you very much, and I appreciate them coming over to City Hall to meet with me. That concludes our status reports for this evening. We now have time for the visitors section of our meeting. This will be the time if you have something you'd like to state to council. I would encourage you to come down to our podium, state your name and address for the record, and I welcome you.
Hey, good evening. My name is Jeremiah Burgess, 36 Park Road in Oakwood. And, thank you for, it's good to be here tonight, my first time, and good to see some fellow Rotarians. I'm just here briefly to discuss a concern with the enforcement of Title 12 concerning the signage policy. I received a letter on August 20th saying that I was in violation of the zoning violation for having this sign in my yard because it was deemed an advertisement. I was able to speak with Ms. Sarah Valentine on the phone, and she said that yes, in fact, this was deemed an advertisement because it was promoting an organization and promoting something that you would have to sign up for, or service of that kind. I relayed to her that it's a nonprofit organization, just as the Oakwood United, Patterson Park, et cetera, and some of the other youth activities that are in town. And she said all those signs would be deemed in violation of that order. And in fact, I did receive confirmation from some parents who had Patterson Park baseball signs in their yard that also received similar letters. Sarah confirmed that she was reaching out to anyone that had those signs in their yard and sending them the letters. I asked about signs such as the Greek festival or the Italian festival, and she said those signs were appropriate. I asked her about the library signs, and she said those were appropriate, even though those are all also nonprofit, non-commercial activities. I briefly spoke with City Attorney Robert Jacques a few days after that, and while he wasn't able to give me a definitive comment, he did say he wasn't quite sure that may have fallen into the category. So I would like you to reconsider and work with the Zoning Commission to consider enforcement of Title 12 for youth activities, particularly when it's a nonprofit organization. The sign is not, I would say, not a commercial advertisement. By the broad definition of advertisement, it is in fact an advertisement, but by the more specific definition, which is on the website of the Oakwood City, where it talks about advertising in commercial signs and specifically calls out prohibited signs that deal with such as HVAC repair, painting, but it does not call out youth activities. Additionally, one of the potential issues with the sign is that it has a QR code. I would submit a QR code is just another way of, in the past you would have a phone number, now you have a QR code. Our QR code goes to a website. It does not go to a membership or asking you for any money, where I could see maybe that could be problematic, but ours does not do that. So one other point I would like the council to consider is in days past when we were young, schools were able to hand out flyers of activities, but they don't do that anymore. Now, it is true in the virtual emails they do send out, there are a spot for virtual newsletters, but the ability to communicate to the community is much more effective with the signs. I've been told it actually reminds people, oh, it's time to sign up, it's time to go register for soccer, go register for baseball, or join the adventure guides. So I'd ask the council to consider working with the city to reinterpret Title 12, at least in the short term, and in the longer term, probably adjusting the language in Title 12 to reflect allowing for certain nonprofit organizations to be able to put signs for a temporary amount of time in their yards. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Jeremy? Okay. We talked a little bit about this at our work session before this meeting, and we're going to ask our law director to take a look at that 12, is that section 12, and maybe come up with some clarifying language. So we will have to take that, if we choose to do that, we'll have to go through the planning commission, but we should be able to get this resolved rather quickly. Okay. So I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else wish to address council? This would, again, if you do, come up and state your name and address for the record, and we would welcome you as well. Okay, well, thank you very much. That will conclude our visitors section. We will then go to legislation, and Vice Mayor Byington has several resolutions.
Yes, Your Honor. The first resolution is to authorize the city manager to execute a 3-year collective bargaining agreement with the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, or the OPBA, representing the public safety dispatchers, and with the Fraternal Order of Police, Oakwood Lodge number 107, or the FOP, representing the public safety officers and the public safety lieutenants. This is a resolution to approve 3 new collective bargaining agreements, one for each of the bargaining units within the Public Safety Department. Our current agreements are due to expire as follows. The current agreement with the FOP representing the public safety officers expires on October 26th of 2025. The current agreement with the FOP representing the public safety lieutenants expires on November 3rd, 2025. And the current agreement with the OPBA representing the public safety dispatchers expires on November 3rd of 2025. Labor negotiations are often lengthy and sometimes costly, but the parties have agreed upon substantially similar terms for new 3-year agreements covering all 3 bargaining units. Council is pleased to report that this occurred through a series of productive and thoughtful discussions without the need for formal processes, resulting in agreements that are beneficial to the city and to our public safety employees and to the residents and businesses. Mayor Duncan and myself have reviewed the new agreement as members of the council's finance committee, and this resolution will authorize the city manager to sign the agreements. We would like to commend Chief Alan Hill for his efforts on the city's behalf and also our public safety employees for their help in coming to these agreements. So at this point, I would move that council adopt this resolution.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any questions or comments for Vice Mayor Byington? Hearing none. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Duncan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
And I believe you have another resolution.
Yes, this is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Each tax year, the Montgomery County Budget Commission is required to certify its determination of the millage rates and amounts the city will receive from its existing property tax levies. For 25-26, the Budget Commission has determined that Oakwood will receive $1,607,984 from inside millage and $1,558,985 from outside millage tax levies. These figures are consistent with the city's projections. This is our annual resolution to accept the county's determination, and I move that council adopt this resolution this evening.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions for Vice Mayor Byington on this resolution? Hearing none. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Duncan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
And I believe you now have an ordinance.
That is correct, and this is an ordinance to amend Section 1 of 2025 Original Appropriation Ordinance Number 5009, and an existing supplements thereto to provide for the appropriation of, number one, an additional amount of $40,003 to be expended from the Court Computerization Fund for data conversion services and upgrades to the Oakwood Municipal Court Case Management System. This would be for the City of Oakwood, State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. This is a supplemental appropriation ordinance to make funds available for a court software upgrade that was not included in the 2025 budget. The Oakwood Municipal Court recently applied for and was awarded a grant from the Ohio Supreme Court's 2025 Technology Grant Program. This grant opportunity was not known last year when the 2025 budget was adopted, but will enable the court to proceed with much-needed technological upgrades to its case management software and file handling system. The grant is in the amount of $38,715. With required local matching funds, the total upgrade cost is $40,003. In order to proceed with this project in calendar year 2025, council needs to appropriate the $40,003 from the Court Clerk Computerization Fund. This is a first reading of this, and I make no motion at the time. We will address it at our next council meeting.
Thank you very much. That concludes our legislation this evening. Do we have a city manager's report?
We do. Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
The city recently applied for and received funding in the amount of $4,960 through the 2025-2026 Drug Use Prevention Grant Program. These funds will cover the cost of our DARE workbooks and pamphlets used by the Safety Department. This support helps us continue providing important prevention education to students while offsetting expenses that would have otherwise come from the city's budget. In addition, the city signed an agreement with Bear Becker Engineers to provide professional landscape architecture services for Orchardly and Schaefer Parks. Many of the amenities in these parks are reaching the end of their life cycle and need to be replaced. These services will help the city evaluate options for replacement, review the overall organization of each park, and develop cost estimates to guide potential improvements.
That's it? Great. Any questions for our city manager? All right, hearing none, then we will go to council comments. Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. The first thing I want to do is to publicly offer my sympathy to our council member, Rob Stevens, upon the death of his father. I know we always feel this way, and I didn't want everybody else to comment on it except me, because I go first, so I thought I'll get it out there right away.
Thank you, Healy.
but
Thank you.
Rob, I know you know our heart is with you.
Thank you.
The second thing I wanted to express is just today, as I was driving along Hathaway, a young man on a scooter with juice in one hand, the other hand on his scooter, was coming straight towards my car. And I found myself wanting to get out of the car and say, "Stop, you don't have a helmet on. Stop, you're on the wrong side of the street." And I thought, I'm sort of ashamed that this is my first reaction, that I wanted to get out of the car and take the law into my own hands. So what I'm asking parents, again, please talk to your children about safe e-scooter traveling. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Turbin?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I wanted to give you all a quick business update. We are excited. On September 25th, we're going to be doing the business walk. And really what prompted this is that we in the city didn't want to assume that we knew everything that the businesses wanted and needed. And so on the 25th, we will be calling on every business in Oakwood and asking them about their challenges, their opportunities, and how the city can better work with them to make them more successful. So we are very excited about that. And I have been meeting with the business owners. They have a monthly after-hours meeting, and it's been really a good experience. They very much welcome our support and their input, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Stevens?
Just one quick comment, just to thank Mrs. Jackson for her comments, and just that my father did pass away on Friday morning, and it was unexpected, and I just want to thank the community for reaching out, and I want to also thank city staff. City staff has been extremely thoughtful, and many have reached out. It's been wonderful to hear from, people that I just thought I worked with, but they've actually, they're good friends. So I'm going to stop there so I don't make this worse on me or anyone else. But I just want to thank everyone for reaching out.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Well, that's tough to follow.
Sorry, I told you. I know. I apologize.
Well, the only comment I had is, Constitution Week, it reminds me of a lot of my history lessons. When you started talking about the preamble, I don't know how many people learned the preamble through Schoolhouse Rock, but that, as he was saying, and I remember the little song that was on Saturday morning cartoons. But just a little bit of history trivia in case you ever get on Jeopardy. Jonathan Dayton was the youngest signer of the Constitution, at 26 years old. He was a representative from the state of New Jersey. He, along with three other gentlemen named Wilkinson, Ludlow, and St. Clair, owned 250,000 acres of the Miami Valley land. So when they were putting together their different areas throughout this region, they developed the city of Dayton, or a city along the river. They had four choices. It could have been called St. Clair, it could have been called Ludlow, it could have been called Wilkinson, or it could have been called Dayton. So fortunately, we were Dayton, and we don't live in the city or next to the city of Wilkinson. So that's your little bit of trivia for today.
All right, thank you for that report. I know one of the things that council has is we have numerous citizen volunteer committees, and one of the things that's my honor is to call people and ask if they wanted to volunteer. And we had a committee called the ADA Committee, which is Americans with Disability Act Committee, and it was my honor every 3 years to call Rob's father, William Stevens, and ask if he would serve on that committee. And he always agreed to re-up another term, because for 20 years he served on the ADA committee and we never had a meeting. So he thought this was the greatest way to volunteer for the city of Oakwood. So he will be missed. And then I noticed we had a student come in shortly after the meeting started, and since you're going to attend one of our shorter meetings of Oakwood City Council, Our next meeting is going to be October 6th, and you need to come back so that you can address council at our council comment session. So you don't have to do that, but I'm just making a strong recommendation on behalf of the citizens of Oakwood. They would like to meet you and hear what you have to say on behalf of the city. And that does conclude our meeting. Again, Monday, August 6th will be our next meeting. And so, I'm sorry. What did I say, August? Okay, you have to come to the meeting that was last month, too. Okay, I'm sorry. The next meeting is October 6th. Thank you all for coming, and our meeting is adjourned.